This is NewsBreak26 in Southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. Elite level junior hockey has returned to Charlotte County. The St. Stephen County Moose are preparing for their inaugural season in the National Collegiate Development Conference, and excitement is already building at the Garthland Civic Center. The team emerged following a period of uncertainty. Two NCDC franchises were originally announced for the region, but only one moved forward, rebranded as the County Moose to represent all of Charlotte County. Organizers said in a press release that a silent owner has come on board to make the team a reality. This past weekend, the Moose held an ID camp at the Garthland where signed players and hopefuls skated shoulder to shoulder, fighting for the last remaining roster spots. Their first official home game is on September 19th when they host the CT Chiefs North from the state of Maine in what promises to be an electric season opener. That's when the County Moose's official roster of players will be unveiled as well. Head coach and general manager Kyle Adams, who brings more than 2 decades of experience and a history of developing elite junior A talent, says local fans can expect high-intensity competitive hockey. Before camp began, Adams signed a number of players he personally recruited to anchor the new squad.
Every single place I've coached, the community is what drives the team. It's not just the community, it's the billets, it's the volunteers, it's everybody involved.
Among the first signed players is goaltender Bronx Bodner.
I'm from Toronto, Ontario, and I played YSC, which is York Simcoe Express, U18, my last year U18. And then I played in Blind River last year in the NOJHL. And then Coach Kyle gave me a call, and I'm here now.
20-year-old Montreal defenseman J.F. Racine brings leadership and experience to the ice.
Kyle got me on the phone, and he was like, "Come play for me, Jeff." And obviously, I really love the way Kyle is coaching.
With players arriving from across Canada and the United States, the County Moose are set to transform the Garthland into a hotbed of fast-paced, high-energy junior hockey and give local fans a team to rally behind once again. New information surrounding the deadline for completion of the Market Square and Market Wharf refurbishment project in St. Andrews has come to light. For more on this, here is CHCO's Nathalie Sturgeon.
The provincial and federal governments have contradicted a public deadline shared by the town of St. Andrews on Market Wharf refurbishment and Market Square expansion. In June, town staff told the council the money needed to be spent and the project moving ahead.
We can continue doing the project if it's in place and moving forward past the March 2026 deadline, because we're showing we're finishing the project at that point. But basically it's been told March 2026. If you haven't done anything, you lose the funding.
This deadline was the reason cited by multiple councillors for moving forward with their decision on the hybrid infill design that has been the subject of controversy. The reason was included in the motion to move to tender.
With the urgency for a mid-October start, a decision needs to be made tonight to proceed or not. Otherwise, we risk the further risk on losing a portion of the 2026 tourist season, as well as significant risks to the funding made available by the 2 higher levels of government.
One is cost. We do have money from the in form of a provincial federal government grant that is significant.
We all know that we're running out of time in this funding. And I know there's a conversation, we'll just reapply, you might get it again. But we've missed now, if we delay this project, 2 deadlines. 2 deadlines. In the second time, as I said, we spent $400,000 of engineering that the other levels of government have to pay. If you go back to the drawing board and you wasted tax dollars, there's lots of other communities asking for this money. I don't know about you, but I don't gamble with $5.4 million.
The funding is through Housing, Infrastructure and Communities Canada. It is redistributed to the province through an integrated bilateral agreement. In New Brunswick, those funds are then administered through the Regional Development Corporation to the town of St. Andrews, which outlines the project's deadline is to be substantially completed by October 31st, 2033. CHCO-Tv reached out to HICC on September 3rd. And in a statement, it said, "We can confirm that Housing, Infrastructure and Communities Canada has not imposed any deadline on the projects in St. Andrews, other than the 2033 dates mentioned in the bilateral agreement." Again, CHCO-Tv reached out to the Regional Development Corporation on September 4th, who confirmed that the deadline was not March 2026, but March 2027. It confirmed that that deadline could also be extended, provided they gave a justifiable reason. It said the town wouldn't lose that money if they have filed an extension application. No one from the town of St. Andrews responded to our request for comment by deadline. However, in a staff-led meeting on September 8th, Spear told the council he'd spoken with the president of the RDC. The town does not stream or record these meetings, and no minutes were taken, but the meeting is open to the public. Spear told the council there is some extra time, potentially, but it doesn't change the underlying facts. He reiterated some points already expressed, including the possibility of losing the wharf due to current structural deficits and the goal of avoiding impacting the summer tourism season. He argued the council could not look at the deadline in isolation, urging them to move forward, adding if the project stalls for some reason, another engineering assessment would be needed to look at its structural integrity. Although it's unclear whether any engineering assessments have taken place after 2018 that could put urgency on the project, part of the wharf approach remains under a weight restriction. The project is part of a pool of money, which means several communities have vied for the same funds, but it remains unclear where that March 2026 deadline originated from. Tenders are expected to come to the town on September 10th, and council could vote on those tenders September 15th. Nathalie Sturgeon, CHCO-Tv, St. Andrews.
Thanks, Nathalie. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, visit CHCO and the Courier online at CHCO.TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV, New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.